Hello, this is Bruce Duboff of the New Jersey Association of School Librarians at Pfeffer Middle School, one of my libraries. Today I wanted to talk to you about The Kill Order by James Dashner, which is a prequel, meaning that it comes before the other three books in the series, called the Maze Runner series. And frankly, although I want to talk to you about The Kill Order, I really do want to talk to you more about series in general. Now, there was only one reason to write The Kill Order, and that was to find out one important question, which is, who really caused the problem that Earth is having? Is it man or is it natural? And although this answers that question, and it does it pretty well in a way that's kind of engaging and very quick-paced, frankly, it got a little tired for me because I knew what was coming. It's a prequel. It's kind of it's the Star Wars syndrome. When you make 1, 2, and 3, it's just not as good as 4, 5, and 6. There's a reason why epics start in medias res and not at the beginning, because the beginning can sometimes be a little boring. So there was nothing in The Kill Order, frankly, that I hadn't already figured out from the first three books. But again, I think my students have found it to be quick-paced and exciting, and I think they enjoy the background knowledge so they can get some closure to the series. So I would just give a couple of stars maybe to The Kill Order by James Dashner. It does answer the important questions. But like I say, today I want to talk to you a little bit more about other series, because a lot of my students are coming in these days and they want the new series, but they don't realize that there's so many other series that these guys have read that frankly they might like just as much. My students, especially at the intermediate school, the 5th and 6th graders, love Star Wars books. And what I say is, if you really like Star Wars books, well gosh, read the Foundation series. This is a Foundation trilogy by Isaac Asimov, and this goes back to the 1950s actually. And this is a story about the Galactic Empire, which is going to have a terrible fall and is going to have a dark ages for 30,000 years. But this scientist named Harry Seldon figures out a way to make it last only 1,000 years. And he uses something he invents called psychohistory, which is a way to predict the movements of large masses of people over time. So it's really, he's kind of a fortune teller. And this series describes the first few hundred years of that journey. It's pretty amazing. And like I say, every science fiction writer that you've ever seen has read the Foundation series. So I would definitely go to my library and check it out. If you're a little older, the Dune series, although frankly the first book was really good. The first book was really good. And Dune Messiah and all the other ones, the Children of Dune, they weren't so great. But Dune is an amazing, amazing epic story about a planet called Arrakis, which is a very dangerous, extremely dry place, but is also the only place in the universe that a special spice called melange can be made. And this spice has special qualities that everybody in the universe needs. So it's a fascinating tale of not only of an ecological issue, but also of some great politics. I mean, if you like Game of Thrones, this is what everybody in Game of Thrones was reading. The House of Atreides versus the House of Harkonnen is Game of Thrones. So check it out. Also, Asimov has another series. If you like detective or mystery stories, The Caves of Steel, The Naked Sun are two really, really good books. And then there's another one called Robots and Empire that comes later. But I'm telling you, Caves of Steel and Naked Sun are really cool books featuring a human and a robot detective. So I would definitely check out that book in my library. And let me tell you about a couple others that are a little more modern, but you may not have read. First of all, check out the Shadow Children series by Margaret Peterson Haddix. This was 90s, and this was about a world where the population is limited, and if you have more than 2 kids, then you are under arrest. So they become hidden. They become these things called shadow children. And this character named Luke has to find out kind of whether there are other ones in the world, and in fact there might be a whole society of third children. I don't think I have to tell you about this one. But let me tell you about another one that I liked almost as much called Tomorrow Girls by Eva Gray, who's actually Suzanne Weyn. So Suzanne Weyn's been writing a lot of material lately for Scholastic, which is, good for her. But I like this book a lot. I would call it Hunger Games Light. It's about 4 girls who go to a school thinking that they're getting away from the war when in fact they're going right into the war. It turns out that the people at the school are actually the bad guys. So check it out. It's cool. Tomorrow Girls is the series. And then finally, one that I really liked, Life as We Knew It by Susan Beth Pfeffer, is a 3-book series. And this is about something a little different. This is where we didn't cause it. It really is natural. And what happens is an asteroid hits the moon and the moon comes closer to the Earth. And because of that, lots of crazy, meteorological events happen. The world goes insane. Whole islands are washed away. The weather goes crazy. Everything is kind of out of kilter. And the 3 books chronicle the lives of 2 people. The first one is of a young lady. The second one is of a young man in New York. And the third one, they kind of meet. It's pretty cool. So I know I've talked about a lot today. I started with The Kill Order by James Dashner. But check out those series, guys. Especially, like I say, if you like Star Wars and you like the big science fiction epics, check out the Foundation series. I got these from my home, and these are kind of old. I bought these in the 70s, but to be honest with you, they hold up very well. This is Bruce Duboff of the New Jersey Association of School Librarians saying keep on reading, and I'll see you next month.